All right, guess who, friends? It's T-Man. I'm back with another video, and it's on, guess who? None other than Jason Blaha, the strength and baloney fitness dude. Oh, man, this guy, I swear, he looks like this old, like, grandpa guy that you'd see down the street. He looks like this 80-year-old guy that once took care of me when I was a child. I swear to God, a bald guy like this with this body. This guy looks like he's never lifted a weight in his life. Anyways, this video is on the gym lifting, recruiting lifting slave, Jason Blaha. I'm going to review his video. Let's see what he says. Jason Blaha says overload training hurts gains. Overload training, no such thing, all made up stuff, whatever. It's incredible how much people do not understand. They don't know F all about lifting or bodybuilding or what the hell is building them a muscle. It's incredible, man, the ignorance that's out there today. This is just crazy. How could you involve yourself in a sport if you don't understand all the mechanics that are behind it? Just go in there and lift the weight. It's going to magically build a muscle if I just wave my arms up and down in the air. Impossible. The human body still works the way it works in nature, not the way you think it works, or you're gonna make it work.
Overload training, which would pretty much be defined as any exercise in which you find a way to make it heavier at the lockout and lighter at the bottom, is generally going to be
lighter at the bottom. You don't want to make heavier at the top and lighter at the bottom. Here's the ignorance that goes into it. The bottom part, you're able to lift heavier. Look, the motion on the eccentric, you're able to load more weight on the eccentric. That's why you're able to exude more force production. Look, the guy what's his name? Pygmy, that did that thing on negative, what is it? Eccentric negatives. He was correct. His strength on the concentric increased. Like, I can't remember how much. I don't know, 200% or 500% or something. But it increased because you could load more weight on the downforce. You understand me? Thus also creating more muscle damage, making you stronger by growing more myofibrillar growth. That too helps. But on the downforce, you're also activating motor units. So look, let's say you couldn't do a 250 pound, whatever. Let's say you could do on a downforce. Let's say on the OHP. On the OHP, you're able to do the downforce about 200. The max you could, because you could barely do, let's say you could barely do 25 pound plates on each side, okay? All right. You go on the Smith machine, right? You load it up with over 250 pounds. Well, on 250 pounds, most likely, if you're able to do the downforce of 250, you can measure it. I don't know. I don't know how much you can do on the downforce, but most people could do a lot, maybe even 315. So on the downforce, you could do 315 pounds, slowly bringing the weight down, right? Then re-racking the weight up again at the top and then bringing it down again. Re-racking it and bringing it down. You do this repetitively, and I mean repetitively, over and over and over again. And now I guarantee you'll get to your OHP, your 315 pound OHP, by just doing the negatives, even on a bench press, everything. Everybody knows this. It's in science. It tells you this. Eccentric exercises are superior to concentric. You're able to get to the concentric a lot faster by doing eccentric movements. It's like that, bro. Get it? Okay, that's one way. The negatives, those are negatives. But an overworking of a certain muscle with eccentric can get you more muscle damage. But you can always lift more on the eccentric than you could on the concentric, because remember, concentric is going against gravity. You understand me? Yeah. Anyways, whatever. It's a lot harder. It'll take you a lot longer. It's a lot harder, whatever. Okay, let's hear what else he has to say. So this is wrong. You should go high on the top and light on the bottom. You should not go light on the bottom.
Inferior for hypertrophy. And the reason we say this is that there's such an enormous growth response on most exercises at the bottom of the lift that one...
No, there's much more growth on the bottom lift. Well, There's more muscle damage in an eccentric movement on the down force. Yes, on the eccentric force. Yes. But you're not getting that because it rapidly adapts. How? By remodeling itself bigger and stronger. And then it's resilient from further assaults. But any growth that these fools are getting that are adapted is sarcoplasmic, bro. I can prove all this.
We do this, we're really taking a lot out of it. And again, I understand how popular this has become due to equipped powerlifting, the powerlifting world, everything else. You know, and then people will also point out, well, this person did it in the sport of powerlifting and they made great results, but it's like, okay, but was their overall programming good? Yes. Did they have great genetics for size?
Hell, Olympic lifters, they do a lot of eccentric negatives. It may not appear that way to you, but believe it or not, they focus a lot on eccentric negatives. The powerlifters, they focus too much on concentric. You understand me? That's why Olympic lifters are beasts. They're beasts compared to powerlifters. They laugh at powerlifting because it's superior. Eccentric is always superior. If you're leaving it out, you're fucked. You're leaving it out, you're fucked, bro. It just is like that. And time is going really fast. You're getting older. You're going to get weaker. A whole bunch of stuff is going to happen to you.
In strength, yes. Were they probably very seriously enhanced? Seriously enhanced, yes.
You will be naturally seriously enhanced if you focus on eccentric exercises and, how should I put this? If you focus on unaccustomed, unfamiliar forms of eccentric exercises, meaning they have to be very far apart. They can't happen with a repeated bout. Impossible, never going to happen. So you understand what I'm trying to explain to you? Do as many unfamiliar, once you max out in these adaptations in muscle damage, the eccentric forms, and whatever it is you're doing, when you max it out and you're not getting any more DOMs and you're not getting any more growth in myofibrillar growth. I'm talking about myofibrillar. I'm not talking about sarcoplasmic eating a whole bunch of carbs like this dude here. What's his name? Look, I'll explain this, okay, really fast. You see your friend here, Tristan Lee. Remember Tristan Lee here? Yeah, look at how Tristan Lee looks like here. Look at his body. This is on a carnivore diet, but he never got any myofibrillar growth. He just got really skinny. He got really skinny. He got maybe some UB gains in the beginning. You understand me? But all he is here is really skinny. Where's his chest? Look at his body. What he got here, he's got really low body fat, lower than usual, okay? That's about it. So what did he do? He started eating carbohydrates. You think carbs build muscles? Here's the thing. Do you think that eating a lot of carbohydrate builds muscles? Yeah? What kind of muscle does it build? What does carbohydrates build? You think sugar builds muscles. What type of muscles does sugar build? Well, I'll show you. They call it sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, okay? So sarcoplasm in the cytoplasm of a muscle cell. It is comparable to the cytoplasm of other cells, but it contains unusually large amounts of what? Glycogen, a polymer of glucose, myoglobin, and red-colored protein necessary for binding oxygen molecules that diffuse into muscle fibers and mitochondria, okay? What exactly is this? It's a type of artificial muscle growth. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is a kind of artificial muscle growth. It's artificial because it's sugar, wherein muscles increase the size visually by increasing the amount of fluid it can hold, but is not increasing the density of the muscle fibers. What increases the density? Myofibrillar hypertrophy, all right? What is sarcoplasmic muscle growth? During a workout, more fluid moves to the muscles to provide what? Energy. It's energy. What is this energy? Sugar. So what is sugar? It's neither a nutrient or a vitamin or a mineral. It is energy. It's artificial. You're eating artificial carbs. You understand me? You're eating an artificial diet, sugar, or whatever, these carbs converting to sugar, loading in the sarcoplasm. So sarcoplasmic hypertrophy refers to the increase in volume of fluid. It can make muscles appear larger, but it does not increase what? Strength. It does not increase strength. Get it? It's just visually, you look visually jacked, but it's fake. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy occurs when the volume of sarcoplasmic fluid in your muscle cells increases. This type of hypertrophy increases muscle volume but does not increase the size or number of fibers, and thus does not result in improved performance. But that will go into the cells, but in the sarcoplasmic, it'll increase it by volume. How to get sarcoplasmic hypertrophy? Well, some people will tell you fatigue training, right? So here's one way to get it. People that come in, look, all of you are endurance athletes now coming into the gym. You're adapted, so you're an endurance athlete. That's based on energy. Endurance athletes are based on performance and energy. Get it? That's all you're doing in the gym. So what is this? Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy training. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is achieved through what is known as what? Fatigue. Fatiguing training is training at an intensity of blah, 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 blah. You're fatiguing muscles, wasting your time, whatever. Yeah, the difference between sarcoplasmic myofibrillar. Well, there are two factors that contribute to hypertrophy, like I've said before. There's sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, which focuses on increase of glycogen storage, and myofibrillar hypertrophy, which focuses more on increased myofibrillar size. It is a primary focus of bodybuilding related activities. Yeah. Stretch position, hyperplasia. I don't know what this is. You're going to have to train for a long time, utilizing more provide maximal stretch position, specific muscle you're training for. How do you trigger muscle hyperplasia? Normal training in the short term more than likely does not cause hyperplasia. Well, in the short term, I don't know, short term? No, not in the long term, but in the short term. You're going to have to train for a very long time, and you'll have to utilize exercises that provide a huge load to maximally stretch position for a specific muscle you're training. Well, yeah, I don't know. Hypertrophy, hyperplasia, it's all in one, man. I told you before, it's based on myonuclear domain. It's a whole bunch of stuff, man. It exists. I don't know sometimes what they write here. They write a lot of explanations. They have websites, whatever. I don't know what else to tell you. Here's one. So sarcoplasmic training does exist, or sarcoplasmic, this hypertrophy does exist. So look at this one. These are trained people. I told you. Myofibrillar growth happens in untrained muscles, unaccustomed, untrained, unfamiliar, and untrained muscles. Unfamiliar forms, untrained people get damaged, and unaccustomed exercise gets damaged. Okay, dude? So muscle fiber hypertrophy in response to 6 weeks of high volume resistance training in trained young men is largely attributed to what? To sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. And one guy says to me, well, 6 weeks is not enough. Yeah, but this isn't based on untrained people. This is based in trained people. People that are fucking adapted to their fucking exercises. And if you're adapted to something, it means you got an adaptation, and we call it newbie gains. You got a newbie gain, and now your muscles are protected from building any more fucking muscles, man. Christ. Now let's watch this video. Oh, I missed that. Hold on a second. It's a commercial.
You look at it that way, and they trained hard, so of course they got great results. But here's the thing that I would say to most people: do you?
They trained hard and got great results. What were the results? By training hard in an adapted state. What do you get when you're adapted? You understand? Here's what, man, I'm going to explain again what adapted means. You go to the gym, right? Your muscle fibers are weak, so you do a bunch of movements. Your muscles adapt how? They get damaged. They're weak. These weak muscle fibers got damaged. Then they repair and remodel themselves stronger, so they don't get damaged from further assaults from your exercises. That's what the adaptation process is. It prevents you from building any more muscles, and it saves you from rhabdomyolysis because it doesn't want to make you uncomfortable. So you're comfortable hunting and eating and working and doing stuff and making pots or whatever, pans or whatever the hell you're making out there in a factory.
Think that you were going to get great results doing that? Or do you think if you were struggling to get amazing gains?
here's the problem. All of you can get amazing gains like our friend Tristan Lee, who's eating all sugar carbohydrates right now. If you go, I did a video, you could check it. I did a video on it. You show him what he's eating. He's eating sugar all day. You too can get these sarcoplasmic phony muscles, get it? And you could be phonier than the last time. So I don't know what the fuck Blaha's talking about. Blaha's muscle, anything that he has here right now is phony, is fake, it's sarcoplasmic. I'm telling you right now, it's sarcoplasmic.
That you might not be in the top 1% genetically. I'm just going to say, if you're out here trying to find new methods to gain muscle mass,
his strength isn't based on the amount of muscle he has on his body. His strength to lift that heavy weight is based on what? What's it based on? Dude, what is it based on? Think about it. What is it based on? Practice. It's based on practice. Now, does an ant have to practice at lifting a heavy weight? No, because what's it based on? Their body is made up of 75% fucking muscle, bro. They don't have to practice at lifting fucking 10 times their body weight. Now, humans, when humans lift stuff, can they lift all this heavy weight? Could Blaha lift this heavy weight when he first started? No, he can't. It's not based on muscular strength. This force production, his lifting is based on force production. Yeah. It's based on practiced strength. Get it? Practice. You have to practice to get your body to do what? To adapt. How does it adapt to lifting heavier weight? By rewarding you with androgen receptors. That's what it does. And proliferating motor units for that maximum force production. That's what it does. Duh. Hello. See what I mean? So it's not based on any his strength is not based on any muscles. It's based on practiced strength, lifting this weight. And he can't really lift, and humans can't lift that heavy. They can't even lift 10 times their body weight. But anyways, lift, I guess you could say these guys, after they practice, on steroids specifically, they could deadlift 900, okay? So they could go a little bit over their body weight, whatever. It's still practiced. It's fake. It's practiced. If it's practiced, it's fake. Okay? It's fake. I swear. Look, people still don't understand this. If it's not based on your muscular strength, you lifting this heavy weight, then it's fake. Okay? It's practice strength, so it's artificial. If it's practiced, it's artificial. Now, if you're loading sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, eating glycogen, eating an artificial diet, creating artificial muscles, then it's artificial. You're still a fake natty. You're all fake natties. I think people don't even understand. They're all complaining about people. Why are people taking steroids to get, this force production and create these phony muscles? They're just trying to cut the workload in half. They just want to do it. They want to do it quick and fakely. They want to do the fake thing that you're doing. They want to do it a lot faster. They're both the same. A natural person that is creating muscles through sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is fake. And a person that is practicing for practice strength is fake. You understand me? Because if you stop lifting that weight, you'll lose that force production. It'll go away. It'll go away if you go away from the gym. So it's fake. It isn't based on myofibular strength, okay? But if you build myofibulars, they are permanent. They are real. They are not fake. They are not based on glycogen. They're based on real proteins that built it. Get it? And that strength that you get from accumulating more myofibulars, that strength is permanent too. It's your strength. It isn't any fake strength. It isn't based on practiced strength. See what I mean? Now, a steroid person, they inject steroids. What kind of strength do they get? Molecule strength, the same thing. It's temporary, because if they stop the drug, what happens to the strength? It goes away, right? That strength to lift a heavy weight goes away. Okay, what happens when a natural, he stops lifting a heavy weight? That force production goes away. Get it? It's fake. It's artificial. Now, because these are artificial means that you're doing it with, okay? Now, that muscle that you built with sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, like Tristan Lee, what happens when you stop eating carbohydrates? Over time, it goes away. It'll shrink and go away. See what I mean? It's artificial. Now, what happens when people take steroids? The same thing, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. What happens when they stop taking the steroids? It shrinks. It goes away because it's artificial. Your body goes back to something called what? Homeostasis. That is your natural form and your natural strength. Homeostasis. Get it? Yeah.
Because you're struggling with it, odds are, I'm just going to be honest, you are probably not in the elite top percentile genetically. You probably aren't.
Again, he keeps comparing that everybody's in the top elite genetics, something, whatever. Man, all humans are the same. All humans, they may be different in size, the way they look, their height and size and all that. But all that force, that practice force production is the same. Look at Alex Leonidas. Look at all these people. Look at all these small, strong guys, the big, strong guys, the little, strong guys. They got a lot of force production. Get it? They're based on force production, and their muscles are fake too, because muscles adapt in the newbie gain phase to protect from building any more muscles. It's based on an adaptation principle. If you're not shooting for that, then you're not building any real myofibrillars. And people usually, they associate DOMs with being something bad, like Blaha does.
Doesn't mean you don't have good genetics or decent genetics. You very well might. But just put that into perspective.
He's lying to you, this whole genetic thing. You have good genetics, bad genetics. If you can't lift 10 times your body weight like an ant, then it's all bad genetics. Get it? Is that it? Is that it? Because they have 75% muscle and you don't? You have 40% muscle on your body. You can't lift 10 times your body weight. I'm sorry, dude. Even if you could lift a heavy weight with a forced production, if you came up across a tiger, he'd fucking destroy you. And he doesn't have to bite you or have claws. If he had no teeth and no claws, he'd still destroy you. Want to know why? Because he weighs over 750 pounds, a tiger. And it's all muscle. It's all muscle. They're muscular. It's all muscle. They're super strong, man. They crush you.
With these topics, okay? If you are not extremely gifted, you probably need to be a little smarter with your training. You probably shouldn't be doing things that reduce your muscle growth versus what they could be on a set-for-set basis, by 10%, right? You can't afford that. That's not a good idea. It's already hard enough for most people to gain the muscle they want to gain. It already takes a long enough time. Why do things that's going to make it harder? Because the problem is a lot of that training is harder on recovery.
No, you just have to, if you really want to build myofibrillar growth, just shoot for all different kind of exercises, twisting exercises, movement, rapid, fast movements, and as many as you can. Overtrain that area, whatever it is you're doing, just overtrain it, and you'll get an adaptation and muscle growth. Man, you can even develop new movements and exercises in the gym. Just figure them out, what you want to do. Whether it's your waist area or something, or the chest area, just do a different twisting motion, an up and down motion, or a turning motion, or anything. Do as many as you can. Eke out new adaptations in different modalities. The more modalities, the more motions and modalities that you do, the more adaptations you shall get, and you'll get stronger, because the other people didn't do those, and they're not strong on those movements. You understand me? You can even practice in a room, pick up like these punching bags. You can pick them up and throw them on the floor, pick them up and throw them on the floor. That repetitive motion will give you an adaptation in different hybrid muscle fibers doing that. And if somebody else didn't pick it up repetitively and throwing it on the floor, they won't be strong enough. They won't be as strong as you are picking up something and throwing it on the floor. See what I mean? They won't have that strength because they didn't build any natural myofibrillar strength in doing that. Or even in some force production there is accumulated as well.
And what do we mean by lockout training? How about using slingshots? How about using, even bands, chains, boards?
He does the same exercises over and over again. Doing these pull-ups with that weight on there is not doing anything for him. You have to, he always, and the variation is always the same. Sometimes you need to supinate your arms, do it in a different direction. You understand me? Do a close grip, wider grip, closer, do it in grip, out grip. Yeah, you have to do many variations. There's all kinds of variations you could do here. He's always doing the same thing over and over again. Boring. It's got nothing going on here.
You're doing partials to skip the bottom. How about when people help you out of bottom of lifts? How often do we see
Partial, skip the bottom. Usually the partial is at the top part. The partial ends at the top, but the lengthening goes a lot longer.
this? People are standing there and they got a spotter helping. I see it on seated shoulder presses, flat dumbbell presses. Right? I see it on curls. See, I've seen it on preacher curls. Like what? I mean, do we see a problem here? What do those exercises all have in common? They all have the ability to put a deep stretch on the muscle. Okay? There's a reason a lot of bodybuilders and people do like dumbbells. There's a reason they like preacher curls. They stretch the muscle. Right? With a dumbbell, we can get deeper.
What about if it stretches the muscle? Maybe there was not enough stretch.
So that's the difference with a lot of that. The ability to get slightly deeper is the advantage they offer. Oftentimes it's reduced loading. You oftentimes
Not if you're adapted, it's protected.
will have even reduced loading due to balancing because you have to stabilize more. Those are oftentimes potentially negatives. But that ability to get into those deeper stretch positions can be worth something. So when you have people help you out of the bottom, what do you think happens? What do you think happens? You are removing the largest benefit. But then people are like, but if it's heavier at the top, it's going to make up for it. You sure about that? I don't think the data suggests that. What you're doing is just making the exercise easier. And then you're fooling yourself. And then the problem...
Tonight, you've got the all-new.
And then you're fooling yourself. And then the problem, once someone has had someone help them do that, then they expect that they need it every time because their ego won't let them do it. Right? If they've been doing seated shoulder presses with 55s, they don't want to go down to 40s. They want to stick with those 55s and even do slightly partial reps and have someone tap their elbows at the bottom.
Can you imagine this guy has slaved himself to maintaining these phony muscles, and plus he's on steroids and maintaining this force production? This is crazy. I've been slaved doing this. Give me a break, man. Go play some sports, dude. Come on. Go enjoy your life. Get out of that garage, that prison that you're in. Get out of this prison, man. Come on, Blaha.
Because now their ego demands it. But the reality is if they went down to 40s and just went even a couple inches deeper than they were doing even before the elbow tap, they would probably have better shoulders. Same thing with your benching. You know, once you're used to using those hundreds and having someone help you on every rep, you don't want to go down to 80s. But if you...
That's why I say eating too much protein, building these phony muscles, they're not based on protein, bro. Proteins cannot be stored as energy. Protein cannot be stored as energy in the muscle cells. It's not stored as energy in there. Get it? Now, it's made for rebuilding damage, maybe some hypoxia and oxidative because you're adapted. You know, there's something going on there, but not a lot. It has nothing to do with muscle growth. It has to do with micro injuries. Micro injuries are what spark the growth phase. That they spark growth. They initiate growth. These injuries to muscle fibers are what spark growth. Without these injuries to the muscle fibers, there's no myofibrillar growth. There's nothing for you to grow. There's nothing to repair. There's nothing to grow. You understand me? So you're like a pump station. You're moving these weights around in the gym, pumping up your muscles with what? Glycogen, because you're eating an artificial diet. A lot of carbs. People eat a lot of carbs. For every gram of glycogen, 3 grams of water are drawn between skin and the muscle into the muscles. Get it? Creating these phony muscles bigger than the last time.
If you did and you just went deeper, you would probably have a bigger chest.
Think about, why do you think he's suffering from sarcopenia? Because he's adapted and he's a factory worker working all his life in a garage, lifting man-made weights all the time. And look what happened to his body doing this, lifting these heavy weights repetitively, adapted. There's no more adaptations. He's adapted. So what's going on there? Nothing. He's wearing out the satellite cells. He's suffering from sarcopenia, small arms, and he's got these skinny legs, and he's got a wide waist. That's sarcopenia. And he has chronic diseases and a whole bunch of other stuff. He's suffering from skin diseases.
Okay, there lay the problem.
Look at his legs down here. They're bleeding. He's got sores on his legs. He's got psoriasis. Is really nasty, man. Maybe even suffers from gout for all I know.
Same thing, you know, people, they get used to that slingshot and they're like, oh man, I put this slingshot on, and then they do a touch and go with it or a bounce on top of it, and it already unloads the weight at the bottom. But then they're like, but man, now I can do whatever, 275 for 8.
Okay, and you could do all that weight. You practiced at it. Took you years to get there. You practiced at it, and then, oh, I'm busy right now, or you broke a leg or something, or you had to, or you got in whatever, or people get incarcerated or whatever, or they have to work or something, or their woman has a baby or whatever, and they don't have time for the gym. And all that work you put in, that practice to lift that heavy weight, and then it goes away, and then you come back to the gym and like, oh shit, my strength has gone. My artificial fake strength I created, it went away. It went away. Happens to a lot of people. Why do you think Callum Volmoger went nuts? He went nuts. He failed at everything. He tore his bicep, then he wrecked his knee and everything. All his phony strength and everything kind of went away because, you know, he didn't have money and stuff. Couldn't even afford the steroids anymore or whatever. Jumped out of a window, all this kind of stuff. Wanted to end his life because he went crazy. He went nuts. Because it's all fake, bro. All these people, they go crazy nuts, man. They start battering themselves. They go crazy. Have you seen people when they can't afford steroids, their steroids anymore? Those kind of people, they go all nuts too and freak out. Or somebody that had an accident and they got fucked up, but they were, let's say they were a natural lifter. They get nuts too. Their force production is gone. Their muscles are completely flat, man. They're just off the wall, bro. They're going nuts. That's Blaha. He's suffering, bro. It's psychological. He's getting nuts. He's crazy. He's showing you this ugly dad bod. It's whatever. It's a fake bod, whatever.
I don't want to go back down to 225 for work sets, but
This channel will never grow, ever.
here's the reality. If with a slingshot you bounce and go 275 for 8, you probably do need to be working with 225 on the bench. You're going to get bigger.
Man, he's on steroids. He looks worse than some natural people I know that don't even lift. Get it? He looks like a guy that doesn't even lift. That's why he wears a shirt that says deadlift on it, because you got to remind the public, hey, by the way, I deadlifted. They go, oh, yeah, sure. Oh. And he goes, yeah, but I could deadlift 600. They go, oh, yeah, right, okay. Then he says, hey, I could bench 400. Oh, they're like, yeah, 400. Holy shit, man. Sure you can. They laugh. He goes, yeah, but I can squat 600. Oh, they go, oh, they even laugh even harder. Oh, yeah. 500. Oh, squat. Oh, yeah. But I could OHP 250 pounds. Oh, then they really go in this. They go, oh, sure. And the best is he could pull out a photo and show it to them. Look, guys, here's a photo of me. I'm lifting 250 pounds. And they go, that was staged. Yeah. Now he could probably if he does lift it, he's on steroids. He probably carries around his videos. He goes, but this is me on my channel. Look at me. I'm deadlifting. Look, 500. I'm deadlifting 500. And they go, those are fake weights. They don't believe him at all, man.
You're going to get stronger if you do that with either a very soft, controlled touch.
Yeah, you're going to get stronger if you do that. You're going to get better at lifting something. You ain't going to get stronger. If you ain't getting bigger with myofibulars, if you're not getting more muscle fibers, you're not getting stronger.
On the chest or with a pause. Your pecs would be bigger. You would get bigger and you would get stronger.
This idiot, after the age of 30, you're losing muscle. You're getting weaker. You understand me? Your body is getting weaker because after the age of 30, you're losing muscle. It says it in science. I did a video on it now. the satellite cell, use it or lose it. It says it's usually after 25 when you stop growing. Right away, you start losing muscle. But usually at 30, it really starts going downhill. So 30 to 40 to 50, it's going downhill. To 60 is fucking really dropping. 70, boom, 80, whoa, it's crashing, bro. That's why I say you should focus on building real muscles. Build muscle, man, and stop wasting your time being a lifting gym slave, man, because really time goes quickly, and you really want to be fit, young, and look good. You don't want to be looking old like Blaha. You want to look like Mike O'Hearn, right? Even though Mike O'Hearn is fake, but you want to look like Mike O'Hearn in the natural world. Not like Mike O'Hearn now, unnatural with his Botox face and fucking steroids and peptides, whatever else, taking youth drugs and shit.
Longer.
To preserve himself.
Right? But everyone's like, but you have to get used to handling that weight. No, you don't. How often have you seen someone break a world record in powerlifting on the platform and that they never hit in the gym? Like, I don't think it happens regularly. It happens pretty often. I'm going to say...
Does it matter? Why does it matter so badly? Because they couldn't hit it. They couldn't hit it anyway, so who gives a shit? That's all practiced.
The majority of world records were broken on the platform before they were able to do it in the gym. They trained hard in the gym, and then at competition time,
they trained really hard to get this force. Wow. That could go away in a heartbeat.
A PR. That's actually pretty normal. So if that was the case, if you have to get used to the weight, then no one would ever...
If you get any kind of nerve damage or some shit, or cut a nerve or sever a nerve, or, you know, whatever, poor nerve cord signal or something in your back, whatever, this whole force production is for nothing. It'll go down the tubes. Boop, gone here today, gone tomorrow. Any type of thing that will disturb your nerves, you could get a bacteria, you could get a virus or something, it could fuck your nerves, and it'll fuck your strength. That force production, it'll screw that force production because it's fake.
Never do that, but it actually is the majority. Not saying there aren't exceptions, but I bet you it's at least 70%, if not higher. But if the other was true, that wouldn't be the case. If you have to get used to a weight, you would never be able to hit a PR either. You would never hit a PR. The only way you would ever go...
You can't hit a PR. That's the problem. Nobody out there in public can hit a PR. And the only place you're going to hit a PR is a gym.
What, 10 pounds or 20 pounds on a lift as if you did partials with it first. That you would never, ever be able to do it. See how silly that is? It's not true.
See, the problem with Blaha, he sees himself as weak. When I was a teenager, when I went into like a real serious gym, I remember I could bench 315 for one rep off the bat. It wasn't that hard to bench 315. And I remember I could curl 100-pound dumbbells. But did that mean I was strong? Like physically, was I strong? No, I had a weak back and shit. I was skinny. I felt like a skinny kid all the time. Like I was kind of built because I had heavy jobs. That probably you could say it was a carryover. I had these heavy jobs as a teenager. But yeah, I could bench 315 and I could curl 100-pound dumbbells. But now, even at my weight now, my older age, it's hard to curl 100-pound dumbbells, I find. But I'm a bigger person, you understand me? Which is unusual because a lot of it too is force production too. But I'm just talking about on natural strength. I could curl for many reps. I could curl them for reps too back then, 100-pound dumbbells. But like I said, was I strong? No, because I wasn't big. I didn't have enough muscle on my body. I never felt strong, even though I could lift something. I can move some heavy weight, and most teenagers can move a heavy weight. A lot of teenagers can move because you're young. Your receptors are active, especially if you were working a physical job. Let's say you were a teenager, you worked a part-time, maybe even a physical job, whatever. There's a carryover. You go to the gym, you lift something. You should have some natural strength build up. You go there, you lift something. It's not hard to lift heavy weight for young people. They love to show off. They love to show off to lift the heavy weight because they're young. You understand me? They have a lot of force in their muscle fibers. There's a lot of force there and everything. The hormones are fucking sky high and all this bullshit. They're going through puberty, whatever, bro. The blasting through the fucking ceiling. So yeah, that's why young people are all gung ho for lifting a heavy weight. Why can't Blaha lift too much heavy weight anymore? Why does he have to talk about it? Because it's getting old, bro. It's getting down the hill, skating downhill.
Just get bigger, just get stronger.
See, just get bigger, get stronger. But if you get bigger sarcoplasmic hypertrophy muscles, they don't get stronger. There's no strength there. If you get more myofibrillar growth, you'll get stronger. See what I mean? He says get bigger, you'll get stronger. No. What happens there is you eat these carbohydrates. They're energy, definitely. They'll help you with a force production, but they will not make you physically stronger. But those drugs called sugar, loading it in their glycogen, will help you, because people complain, oh, when I'm not on carbs, I don't feel strong. Yeah, because it's sugar. It's a drug. You're eating refined sugars, plants, this, that, these carbohydrates, all these like man-made carbs and shit and everything you're eating, converting to sugar, whatever. They give you this force production. They give you energy for force production, but they don't not make you stronger per se.
But again, we come over to bodybuilding purposes. This whole idea of doing anything that unloads the bottom, given how robust the muscle growth response is in those lengthened positions on muscles, is really ludicrous. It really is a silly idea. And I would go so far as to say that if anybody is helping you lift out of the bottom, on any exercise where you can get a pretty good stretch at the bottom, anyone who helps you lift the rep.
Yeah, you can even do negative deadlifts as well. Look, you could go on the what do you call it? The Smith machine, right? So you could load a shitload of weight at the top and then lower the weight to the bottom. You understand me? Well, you may not go, I don't know, that thing is a little bit too high up, right? You could put these plastic stacks on there and stand up on it, whatever. Okay, so start the weight from the top and lower it down slowly, a heavy weight. Lower it really slow. Go back, re-rack it, and lower it slow. So now you're getting the eccentric exercises. Okay, how do you do it? How do you do it? How do you do it for the OHP? Easy, just lower the weight, re-rack it, lower the weight, OHP. Bench press, the same thing. You're gonna, I don't know, you have to re-rack it yourself. It's easy to re-rack it because you could just stand up on the thing and then pull it back up again. You understand me? You could pull 300, 400 back up, easy. I don't know about the deadlifting part. If you're going really super heavy, you might have to strip the weights and then put it back up again, put the weights back on again. That's a lot of work. It's better to have a team, like a bunch of friends, you all working together to get a lot of these eccentric negatives. You do like a whole month or 2 months of something of all these eccentric fucking negatives. That'll increase your force production in concentric movements. It'll be exponentially explosive. Yeah, you'll gain more of this phony strength. But you may get, in the negatives, you may get some adaptations. I can't tell you. I don't know. It depends. It's more based on repetitive motions, but you may get it. Who knows? And then protein synthesis needs to see this breakdown so you can grow more myofibrillar growth, yada, yada, yada.
Side of the bottom is literally stealing your gains. Okay? They are stealing gains from you by doing that. Because those positions are worth that much. It's costing you. So even if you're like, but I reached failure, but did you really reach failure? You reached some strained reps while making the hardest part easy, so you didn't really fatigue those fibers, did you? And then the person helped you.
What did he say? Fatigue those fibers? What did I say in the beginning of the video? Fatigue. Fatiguing muscles.
On the final rep. No, I don't think that you did at all.
He just said he wants you to fatigue the muscles, right? What is that associated with? Fatigue. Let's see if I can find it. Here we are. How to get sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy training. Sarcoplasmic is achieved through what is known as fatigue training. See that? Fatigue training is training at a intensity 75%, what, 1 RM with reps in the range of 10 to 15 and short rest periods, 45, 90 seconds, whatever. So there you go. He just said fatigue. That's phony muscles. You see that? It can prove everything I say.
All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.
Yes, thank God. It was definitely not informative. I'll see you in the next one. Like, subscribe, support the channel. Helps with the algorithm. Comment down below. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, man. Fatigue training more faker than the last time. Blaha.